Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elena and I'd like to thank you so much for joining me today. Before we get started, I'd like to first apologize for any of the ambient sounds that you might hear. I am renting a room and I am not in charge of any of the sounds that you might hear. It's an old house, so it creaks and I'm using the tools available to me, so sometimes they make sounds. So I do apologize and I ask that you bear with me. So before this whole pandemic started, I worked at a restaurant. I usually worked the closing shift. And one night, a couple of months ago, I was closing with one of my co-workers. And I was just getting ready to close. I really just wanted to go home. It was a slow night. And a woman came in. She asked for one of our iced drinks, which comes in a plastic cup with a plastic lid, and you get a plastic straw. So we made the drink. I think it was like an iced Americano. So that's like iced espresso with so an espresso shot with cold water and ice, and then you can put cream and or milk and like simple syrup, which is just like melted sugar and water. So she asked, "Do you have a paper straw?" And I was just like, "No, we have a plastic straw. If you would like, I can give you the plastic straw." So I was cleaning up the counter, which is where we normally kept straws. The plastic straws were there, but she didn't want a plastic straw. She wanted the paper straw. We normally have it's by the door. You make your own stuff. So we make the drink and you put in your own like milk and sugar and whatever. And all the stir sticks and the straws and whatever are by the door. So I was wiping everything down, getting ready to close. And she turned to us and she was like, "Well, I don't want a plastic straw. I want a paper straw." And so we were like, "We don't have it." And so she was like, "Well, I won't have it." And she walked out with the drink without the straw. So me and the coworker, we looked at each other like, what the heck is going on? What the heck was that all about? And my coworker was like, "Elena, what was that all about? She is holding a plastic cup with a plastic lid and she's making a big deal about a plastic straw. What's her point?" And I hadn't been thinking about that because I was just at the whole point. I just really wanted to go home, but it felt like a slap in the face because I was like, the whole straw thing was going on. Everybody was making a big deal about straws, and I was just thinking to myself, yeah, everybody's upset about the straws, the whole plastic straws, but people are forgetting there are other plastic things too. She made such a big deal, like she was so hoity about it, but she was literally holding a plastic cup with a plastic lid, and her offense was that she didn't have a paper straw. Like, it made no sense. So as I do, I started to think about it. I didn't think about it right away. It was something that was just in the back of my mind. It was just like a small tick. It was just like there, just something that I just kept thinking about it. So then I started to think, what was this whole thing about the straws? Because I started to see it. I kind of liked the paper straw because it was something new. I didn't know the whole reason behind it. I just liked the whole idea of a paper straw. The whole concept of it was just so ridiculous because it's paper. Of course, I wasn't thinking of the fact that drinks come in paper cups, so what did it matter? But it was just such an interesting concept to me, so I liked the idea of the paper straw. But after that whole interaction with my coworker, I started to really just think about it. So I looked into it. I didn't look at the video because the thumbnails were all really gross, but it had to do with a viral video. An olive Ridley sea turtle had a plastic straw stuck up its nose, and it took about 10 minutes to take the straw out. And I guess that got everybody just really into this whole thing. Everybody was so upset about plastic straws. There were plastics in the ocean and they were hurting the animals. And let me first say, I 100% agree that plastics in the ocean are bad. Don't get me wrong. I 100% agree. The plastics in the ocean are bad. They are hurting the animals. But people are missing the point. The point is being missed, and the wool is being thrown over our eyes. All right, so let me make my point. And I hope that when I'm done, whoever watches this video will see what I'm trying to say. So let's start. We are told that every single person has the ability to change the world, that we should all play our part. Recycle, reduce, reuse. We all know it. We've seen the symbol, the revolving eternity triangle. We've all seen it. Recycle the what can be recycled, reuse what can be reused, or reduce where we can reduce. We all know it. We're all told that we all have our part to play. Everybody has the power to change the world. You have the power, I have the power, the random person on the street has the power. But I believe that, and it's not that I believe, it is actually a fact, so I should re-say this. Some people have more power than others. Everybody can make a difference, but some people have more ability to make a difference than others. This is why when there is a disaster movie, certain people get saved. So let's say something happens. There's some situation. They will save the world leaders first because they have more power than the rest of us. Obviously, they'll try to save us after, but the priority is some other people. It's not us. So why is it then that the responsibility to save the earth is left on the average person when we have the least amount of power? I've been thinking about the power of change. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I don't want to discount anybody's ability to believe in the ability to change the world. If you believe it, you can do it. It all depends on your ability to work towards it. But when you are right now, it takes a great amount of luck right now to be able to inspire a lot of people. I made a chart. I will post a picture in this video, so it should be up right now, and I will also post a link to it on my website. You could find it in the description down below, of people's level. It's my chart, so it's not anything important or anything it's just what I believe, that it's my belief on how a person can categorize the power level currently. Yes, anybody can inspire others, but depending on your level, you might need great luck, or something really amazing needs to happen for you. Let's say if you're in the personal level, so level 0 to level 3, you would need something really amazing to be able to inspire others to follow, because to save the world right now, we need everybody. The world is in danger. We need everybody to save the world, to save the earth. We need everybody. For a level 0 to level 1 to inspire that level of change, you would need a lot of power, and that level does not have that power. The level that requires to make that kind of change is in the level 8 to 11. Maybe the level 4 to 7 can inspire, but it takes somebody in the level 8 to 11. They're the ones who are able to inspire the amount of change that we need to save the world. And yet, they're the ones asking us, the level 1 to level 3, to save the world, and they're the ones doing nothing. Most of them anyway. I can't say that everybody, because you have people like Mr. Beast, who planted how many million trees, who used his power to try, I think it was 20 million, I honestly have forgotten, who tried to get the world to plant. And then you have Greta Thunberg and Malala all doing their parts to try, and then you have the Obama Foundation inspiring young generation. So there are some in the level 8 and 11 who are using their power to get people to move, but yet the majority of the ones in that level are asking the level 1 to 3s to be the ones to change the world. It's crazy. So the thing that I found so fascinating, I've been thinking about this a lot. You go to the grocery store and you see all these fixes on how to save the world. Like you have what do you call them? Eco-friendly cleaners and the paper straws and the bags that dissolve or disintegrate, and you see all these things that they've come up with that will save the world, and I think to myself, these are like bandages, like they just, and not only are they bandages, they come at higher prices. So not only are their problems, we have to pay extra for the fixes. So the ones who are making the problems, we have to fix it. So I thought it was funny because, okay, let's look at it. We have problems on Earth, right? So let's look at the plastic problem. There's plastic in the ocean. Who creates the plastic? Is it the level 1s? No. It's the level 10s, the companies. They're the ones making the plastic products. They can come up with solutions because obviously they have created solutions. Do you know that there are plastic bottles made out of potato starch? You can make a plastic bottle out of potato starch that's biodegradable. And this is not new. This was like 3-4 years ago. You can make it. So why do we still use plastic? Because it's cheap. Plastic is cheap. And yet the level 10s are making those plastic bottles, and then they're telling us that we need to be the ones that we have to use it, and then we're responsible for recycling it. So how does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. So they sell us inferior products, and they tell us we have to save the world. And how does that make any sense? So not only are they selling us the inferior products and saving money, they sell us fixes at higher prices and making more money. Now, I'm not saying that the higher levels are making the problem, so we should not do anything. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, there are problems. Yes, they shouldn't think only with money. Money is temporary. We're only here for a short time. What's the point in making all this money that you can never spend? Like, what are they gonna do when they get to 60? They're just gonna spend it all. You could spend 20 years more, and what could you buy with all the money? You can't. So I'm not saying that we should stop caring about the planet. It's good to be a good global citizen and not wreck our home. This is the only home that we have. We should treat it with respect. This is where we live, and we are very powerful when we come together. The level 1s are powerful. It's very inspiring and very motivational when we come together, when something resonates with the whole species, and we come together and we feel motivated together to make change. It's very powerful. But the thing is that these people, when they tell us these messages, they don't want us to come together, at least not in any way that's meaningful. They don't really care. They don't care. That's why they keep selling and they keep making these things and they keep coming up with fixes. They don't care. But we need to be aware that we're being manipulated. And we need to demand more of these people who are actually destroying our homes. Like if somebody came into your house right now and then they just picked up a mug and they just threw it on the floor and they just shattered it, and then they just picked up the cushion on your chair and just ripped it off and they just threw it on the floor, would you just let them do that? What if they just took the garbage and just threw the garbage on the floor and they just spat on the floor? You wouldn't let them do that. So why are you letting people do that on your planet? We need to demand more of these people. They're pulling the wool over our eyes. They create these inferior products. They create cars that spew out emissions, and then they tell us you have to be responsible. Then they create a more expensive car that's eco-friendly. Then they say, well, you buy the eco-friendly car so that you don't destroy the planet. Here's the problem though. Save the Earth is a marketing spin. They're selling us this thing to lull us into a false sense of security. The Earth will be fine. The Earth does not need to be saving. All the things that are happening aren't going to hurt the Earth. It's an inanimate object. It doesn't feel pain. It doesn't feel anything. If the surface got irradiated by a gamma ray burst right now, or if the sun just threw out like a solar flare right now and it just destroyed the what do you call that, I forgot what it's called, you know, the aurora borealis, what's it called, I forgot what it's called, the magnetic field, I forgot what it's called. But if that just got destroyed right now and then the entire surface just got wiped out, still the Earth would still be fine. It wouldn't care. It wouldn't feel anything. It would just be a rock in the sky. Here's what the slogan should actually be. You know, it says save the Earth. What it should actually be saying is save humanity. It should be saying save humanity. Because the fact is, all the things that are happening, it's happening to an Earth that doesn't feel anything. You know who feels things? We do. We're the ones who are dying. The forest fires and the earthquakes and the hurricanes and the tsunamis and all the random things that are happening. That's what's happening to us because they're pocketing money and they're making all these inferior products, and we're stuck here. We don't have a way off this planet. We don't have another home. We can't go somewhere else. We're stuck. The Earth will be fine. If anything, after she wipes us out, she'll either heal or it'll just be another rock in the sky, like honestly. If we're cool with this, we can just continue to do nothing as we've been. Or we can force these level 8s and above to do more. Yes, one of them have more power than many of us, but if many of us come together, we can force them to take action. So that's the point I wanted to make. I was just thinking about this, like, this woman came into the store and she's all like, I shan't have it. She was talking about, I had forgotten what she said. She said it so weirdly, like when she wanted the straw, the paper straw, and she wouldn't have the plastic straw. She did this thing with her hand like she was a lady. I shan't have it. And in my mind, I'm just like, you're complaining about the wrong thing. Yes, the plastic straw is a problem, but you're focusing on the wrong thing. Focus on the right thing. They're tricking you. They're manipulating you. Yes, the straw is important. Yes, save the animals, but you are focusing on the wrong thing. While you guys are complaining and making this video viral, and focus on the right thing. Anyway, that's my video. I hope it made sense. I'm still getting used to these topics. Hopefully you liked it. If you do, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button. There will be a new video tomorrow. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.